Good morning. How are you? I hope you're well. Welcome to Mel's Mindful Musings. Another beautiful blue sky morning this morning. It's very, very early, still a bit chilly, lots of dew on the ground. And as I was just sitting here, sipping my morning drink, listening to the birds, I was contemplating the inspirational words for today. Happiness doesn't depend upon who you are or what you have. It depends on what you think. And I thought how true that is, and certainly I've seen it reflected throughout my life, that our thoughts affect how we feel. Our feelings then affect how we act, and then our actions reinforce our belief system of what we think, and so the cycle goes round. So if we want to change, we have to break that cycle. So for example, if you feel like you're a failure, you begin to act like a failure. You then will reinforce, your actions will reinforce what happens in your life. And then you can say, see, I knew I was a failure. And that's just one example. It can just be, I'm not good enough. And then you act in a way that makes you feel not good enough. You keep feeding those thoughts and those words to reinforce that thought that's turned into a belief. You might then struggle with doing something, and then you can say, see, told you I wasn't any good at that. But it's said in that way that's almost taking pride in the fact that you haven't felt you succeeded in it. And I find if we can flip that, if we can move that thought to, well, I gave it a good go and I'm going to keep trying till I get better, then that creates, you can even hear it as I say it, how that creates a different path, I feel, a thought path, which then results in different feelings on the path, and then a different action path, and then different reinforcement path. Because what came next was the fears we don't face become our limits. Now, often we talk about letting go of fear, don't be afraid, but sometimes it's worth accepting that there is fear there. It doesn't just, if we wait for fear to disappear, then I feel that we don't act. It could be we continue, we just keep those thoughts of saying, I'm afraid of that. And then again, we don't act. We feel afraid, we act afraid, and then we don't take any actions that actually help us put that fear to bed. And I was thinking about how when I used to be terrified of speaking in public, and how the first time I did it, I was asked to do it, and I know I was really not any good, but it didn't matter, because afterwards I was singing all the way home, because I just went, I did it. And I didn't care how bad I was, because what I'd crossed was the fear threshold. I had jumped off that cliff. And then from then on, I got more and more practice. I got some training. I headed towards wanting to get better and better at this skill, and always wanting to improve. And then I remember a time when I literally did jump off a cliff edge. It was high to me. And I watched these children jumping off into the sea, just as they make that little tiny plop noise. They just jump in, and they're like little pebbles, and they were screeching and hollering and having a great time. And I watched them over 2 days going, I want to do that, I want to do that. And then as I looked over, my stomach churned, and I thought, I can't. I could see rocks beneath under the water, and I thought, oh my God, I'm heavier than they are. I'll just crash down onto those. So how do I jump in to stop me doing that? And I slept on it, and I went away, but it wouldn't go away. And I thought I was feeling not brave enough and a failure for not doing it. And I thought, I need to do this for what was going on in my life. I needed to prove that I could do this. And so I got up early the next morning. I headed up to this platform that had been sort of carved into the rock where these children would jump off. And I thought, I'm going to do it. And I think I probably said a prayer. I just took a deep breath and I leapt. And I must admit, I pulled a muscle in my leg, but I was laughing and just screaming, and everyone was waving at me because there were people there that early. And then I looked around and went, how on earth do I get out now? But someone helped me and directed me towards a place where I could climb out. So it's not about not having fear. It's about just not letting the fear own you. If we don't work our way through the fear, if we don't say, I'm going to work with you, we don't even really need to say, I'm going to conquer you, because that can sort of bring in a combative energy. Just, I'm going to work with this, and I'm just going to keep moving forward. And sometimes we need to move forward baby steps, but we're moving into the fear, through the fear. Don't ever think just because someone looks confident that they are free of fear, because the people I've talked to, even people that maybe go on stage every day, and they say they feel sick before they go on, but they just work with it and they push through it, and then they do it and they jump off that into the blue water beneath. So this to me is a source of happiness, of pushing through our fear, because the feeling of doing it has always made me so happy. And the alternative is sitting with the fear and feeling awful. So that's for me today. I wish you well. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.